Welcome to Fitter in 5 moves in 5 minutes. I'm Catherine. Today we are doing a hip flexor strengthen and release series. This one we are starting with strengthening the hip flexors, ending with more stretching and opening through the hip flexors. If you have unbearably tight hip flexors and you feel like you're really pushing through pain in this one, skip this video, go do a video that targets the glutes and the hamstrings, really opening up the front of the hip, specifically the glutes. All right, that being said, if you are sticking around, all you need is your body and your mat. Let's get started. We will be starting on our backs for this one, so come on down and arms by your sides. We're gonna have the tail nice and heavy on the mat, so nice neutral pelvis. Feet are flat, knees bent. We're gonna lift one leg to tabletop. We're gonna keep the shape of the leg the same, so the knee joint doesn't move. We're gonna move from the hip joint, dip the leg down. We're gonna hover right above the floor, and then we're gonna lift right back up to tabletop. So we're gonna go down, exhale up, good. And we're gonna try not to move the pelvis at all and really move from the hip flexor today. So we wanna feel that work there through the hip flexor. That's 4. Dip, lift 5, 6, lift 2 more, 7, last one, 8, lift, hold the leg in tabletop. You're gonna extend the bottom leg now. So we're gonna straighten that leg onto the floor, and then the leg that's in tabletop, you're gonna straighten it towards the ceiling as much as you can. A little bend is totally fine. Hips are in line. Okay, from here, I like to flex my foot here. I'm gonna take the leg slightly over the body, so I'm gonna cross it, keeping that hip anchored on the floor. I'm gonna circle around and up with the leg stopping in center. So we cross flex the foot, and then I draw a circle on the ceiling around and up, trying to keep those hips still. 3, circle around and up. And 4, circle around and up. Let's reverse it. So now we go out, circle around and up. So if you need to make your circle smaller because your hips are moving around too much, that's totally acceptable. 2 more, please do that. Last one, circle around and up. Good, bend the knee, just do a little hug in, and then switch sides. So let's put the feet on the floor again, and then lift the other leg to tabletop to begin. Tail is nice and heavy, hip point straight up. We dip down. We lift up from the hip joint. We go down 2. Exhale, dip. Inhale up. And 3. And lift. Dip 4. Lift. 5. Really moving from the hip flexors. 6. Abs draw down. 7. Lift. Last one. 8. Lift, hold. Lengthen the bottom leg onto the floor. Press it down. Hips in line. Straighten the top leg. Flex the foot if you can. Cross the leg over. Anchor the hip. Circle around and up, trying to keep those hips as still as possible. 2. My waistline is drawing in, so the obliques have to work a little bit to stabilize. 3. Circle around and up. And we're circling the thigh around in the hip socket. Reverse the circle. We go out, circle around and up. I like to call this oiling up the hip. It's one of my favorites. 2, leg circle. Out for 3, circle around and up, always stopping in center to start again. Last one, 4. And bend the knee, just do a little hug in. Nice. Okay, now we're gonna turn onto our side body and just rest the head in the hand, straight line from the head to the tail, and knees come forward at an angle, they're bent. We're gonna lift the top leg up, so the leg is parallel, hand on the hip. We're gonna take this leg, draw it forward towards the chest. We're gonna really flex in the hip, and then we're gonna take the leg back, open the front of the hip, now squeeze the glutes. So we're gonna go forward for 2, and back. So we're working through the hip flexor here, tail reaches back, so we stay neutral in the pelvis. Then as we go back, we engage the glutes and open the hip flexors. So we have a strengthening and a lengthening. Good, 2 more. Last one. reach it back, and then you're gonna bring it forward, lower the knee to the floor, and straighten the bottom leg. And then you're gonna kick that bottom leg, the heel goes to the glutes, and you're gonna pull into a stretch. And then the farther back you scoot that leg, the more stretch you'll get in your hip flexors. Feel free to also open the chest towards the ceiling, cradling the head in the hand. So there are a couple versions of this you can do. You can stay up or kind of twist. The more you pull that leg towards the glutes, the more opening you get in the hips. Nice, switch sides. Take the legs to the other side. So we're resting, head in hand, knees angled forward, hips back. We lift the leg. We're gonna come forward, hand on the hip. We're gonna go back, opening through the hip. Forward, inhale, and exhale. And forward, really hinging at the hip, and lengthening through the hip. And in, and back. You have 3 more. 3, and reach it back, open. 2, reach it back, open. Last one, and back. Good, come to center. And actually take it forward and then lower to the floor. And then straighten that bottom leg, and then you'll kick the heel to the butt, grab the ankle, pull it as much as you can, and then maybe open the chest if you want. You can also stay up. Good. I just find a little deeper stretch there. It feels nice. I'm really cradling the head in the hand, so I'm not tensing in the neck. Nice. Last thing, coming up to our knees. Bringing one foot forward. The farther away your legs are, so the more open they are, the more stretch you'll get in the hip flexors. Feel free to grab any blocks or anything to prop you up if this is a lot of stretch for you. We're going a little bit over to get this last stretch in. So we're opening the hip. Go ahead, take that outside arm, and then do a little side bend to open even deeper through the front of the hip. Breathe. Good, and then let's switch legs. So I'm taking the other foot forward, scooching it as far forward as I can. Hips are pressing down and forward. Lift the chest. And then go ahead, take that arm reach up and over. If that feels right for you, you can also just stay in the lunge. Breathe. Reach. Good, and you are done. Awesome job. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this workout, make sure to subscribe for more videos like this every week. You're only 5 minutes away to a healthier, happier, more consistent you. If you are interested in longer, more in-depth workouts, head over to my website linked in the description below to sign up for one of my weekly live classes. See you next time.